I'm holding a flag. This is not just any flag, as I'm sure a lot of you are aware. This is a statement and it's a declaration, and it is one that is well known as belonging to the LGBTQ+ community. I'm hoping that you'll take some time to sit down and to talk with me and to further educate yourself about some of the things that are happening in the world around you right now, especially pertaining to this community. I personally am not a member of this culture, but it is one that I hold very close to my heart, as I am close with a lot of its members. I have a brother who identifies as being gay. I have friends who identify as being gay. I also have two very close friends who identify as being bisexual, and that list really just kind of goes on for me. The LGBTQ+ community is one that is well known for having faced oppression and judgment in the past and continues to do so today. So the rainbow flag was adopted as a statement of their culture and to fight the judgments and the oppression that they were facing. So I hope to inform you today about the adoption of the rainbow flag by the LGBTQ+ community, as well as some of the challenges and the oppressions that they have faced and how this has impacted society. First, let's talk about the adoption of the flag. So, according to the Encyclopedia Britannica, the flag was first created in 1978 by a man by the name of Gilbert Baker. And he was an openly gay man who was also a drag queen at the time. And he was personally asked by one of the first elected gay officials to create a symbol of their community. And so the reason that he chose a flag was because he viewed it as a statement of pride, and he also viewed it as a way of saying, this is who I am. And he chose the rainbow colors because he felt that rainbows were natural. They're naturally occurring in nature, and he felt that that was a statement and a way of saying that being gay or being bi or being trans or anything such as was natural as well. So this flag had originally been, it had 8 colors, and now it has 6. That was later adapted to the 6 colors that we know today. And this flag was not actually adopted by the LGBTQ+ community until 1994, but it's now an international symbol that's known around the world. So now that we've talked a little bit about the LGBTQ+ rainbow flag and how it was adopted, that gives us a question. And that question is, why? What was the need for such a symbol? What prompted us to create a symbol of this community? I would say that it's no secret that the LGBTQ+ community has faced a lot of judgment and a lot of oppression in its time. Let's talk about some of these issues. According to GQ magazine, a lot of LGBTQ+ youth members have stated that they have faced harassment and bullying in schools. And a lot of times these issues even followed them home with unaccepting families or parents who didn't accept them. And a lot of times this would even lead to them being kicked out and forced into homelessness. There's also the issue of the misconception that the LGBTQ+ identity is rare, that it only occurs in big cities or capitalist societies or abnormal families, and this just isn't fact. It's not true. The LGBTQ+ community exists in all societies at all times. There's also the issue of law enforcement and the judicial branch. A lot of LGBTQ+ members have also reported facing police brutality, and it's no secret that the community is still fighting for a lot of equal rights. And unfortunately, a lot of times what we end up seeing is we see judicial officials or law enforcement turning and looking the other way. So now that we've talked a little bit about the flag, as well as about some of the challenges that the LGBTQ+ community has faced, let's talk about society. How has this impacted society, and what has society done with it? Let's talk about national policy. National policy is pertaining to the whole United States. And according to the web source Workers World, the LGBTQ+ community is not viewed by politicians as being a big enough issue that it needs to be included in their platforms, but rather it's really just a way that they can show support and gain sympathy and votes. We see this with large corporations as well. We'll see kind of images of false support shown by these large corporations by including the flag in a lot of their marketing campaigns or posting about it on social media to give us that false sense of support, when really it's just a money-making strategy, or it's really just a technique to try to reach more buyers. We've discussed a lot today. We've discussed the rainbow flag, we've talked about the challenges that the community faces, we've also talked about society and what society has done with this information. So I hope that you'll have found yourself a little bit more educated, and So we've talked about a lot today. We've talked about the flag. We've talked about the LGBTQ plus community, some of the challenges and the oppressions that they faced. We've also talked about what society has done with this, with the community and with this information. So I'm hoping that you'll have found yourself a little bit more educated about this topic, because it's not a small topic anymore. It's universal and it's huge and it's not going anywhere. So I'm hoping that when you see me holding this flag, or you see anybody else holding this flag, you'll know that it's not just a flag.